How do we activate that heroic potential within you? Numerous studies have shown the number one predictor of our success in pursuit of our goal, or even looking at adolescence, comparing it to IQ, a higher predictor of our ability to find happiness, to be successful at our most important goals, was grit. Cultivating this ability to persevere, this realization that we have within us, our identity is that person that does not give up in pursuit of our goals. Understanding no matter what wall we hit, what obstacle we face, we know we will get knocked back down. We know we will get knocked down, but we also know we will get back up. There are three specific things that we look at in helping us cultivate grit. Number one is having that established wildly important goal. It's going to be really helpful for us to be in that place, to be in that deep, dark hole where we run into those challenges, where we face that point. If this is truly something life-changing, a very big goal, maybe we're trying to lose 100 pounds, we're trying to change the path that we've been on for the previous several decades, and we want to all of a sudden institute a completely different lifestyle. It's going to be very difficult. There are going to be moments where we're going to question our ability to sustain this, for our ability to actually make some change. I know a lot of us that got to the point where we decided, like, hey, I just need to lose 10 pounds. And you start trying and there's nothing. You just are grinding and you check the scale and there's nothing. What happens in those moments? We have to fall back and rely upon our grit. We have to realize where we're going, activating that dream, right? Where is this best version of us? Why is this important to us? Truly understand that this is where we want to go. We have to have a goal that's so important for us that we will regret not pursuing it. We will regret giving up. This understanding and this clarity in our vision is extremely important for those difficult moments. Now, again, there's going to be opportunities where, hey, finishing a workout isn't going to be life-changing for me, but we understand that this is where we're cultivating. This is the grit. This is what we do. This is who we are. We don't give up. Right? And we have those opportunities and those micro wins when we get through those tough moments that we build up grit. And that grit is able to be applied to those wildly important goals for us. Number two, it's the hope. It's the hope that we understand we have the agency, the ability to get there. And we believe that we can. We believe that we can obtain this. We understand, and this is part 3 of our 3 steps here. We talk about having that clear vision, that dream, that wildly important goal. We understand that there has to be hope, the belief that we can achieve this, the belief that where we are going is better than where we are in our present. And number 3, we don't fear failures. This is a significant part of understanding gritty people. Gritty people know that failures are part of the process. Now don't get this wrong with the idea that they love failures or that they love hard work. In fact, the gritty people often hate hard work just as much as the non-gritty versions of us, okay? They both disdain the idea that they're going to have to suffer. Nobody gets out there and they want to suffer. But the difference is between the gritty individual is they understand that this is part of paying the price. If I want to obtain this, and this is where we have to understand how important this is for us, that idea of regret if we don't get there, that realization that we haven't lived to our potential, that this is part of paying the price. Getting up early enough to get to the gym, going to bed early enough so we can wake up and have the energy to bring that best version of us for ourselves in our day, for our loved ones in our day. It's another important part of these equations is that we're doing this for more than ourselves, a bigger cause that's going to be motivation to drive us. And we're doing this to have the energy to bring to our work, to bring to those things that are most important to us in our life. So those 3 important tasks or steps that we want to realize when we're cultivating grit is having that clear vision, something that's wildly important to us, the fortitude and the understanding that we can get there and the belief that we can. This is where having support kicks in, sometimes having that coach to help guide us and to give us that belief or help institute the tools that we need to get through and navigate these obstacles. And the idea, number 3, that we don't fear failures. We understand they're part of the process. If we're doing something truly hard, we're going to fail. Look at possibly the greatest quarterback or even a football player of all time, Tom Brady. How many times did he lose the game? How many times did he fail? How many times did he throw an interception that cost his team to win the game? But that didn't prevent him from coming back and from continuing to train harder, to learn, to go back to the tape, to go back to the board and figure out, how do I get better? And that's what resulted in him winning so many Super Bowls and so many champions, because he understood that you have to be willing to throw an interception in order to throw the game-winning touchdown. So we love the journey. We understand that the hard work is how we pay the price in order to get there. The journey is where we grow. The journey is what brings us to the place. It's really where we live, is in the journey. Getting to the finish line is great. And I think we often confuse that with that idea like, hey, if I finish this race, that's it. I won. I did the victory. But in reality, the victory had already occurred in the person that you built getting to this point. And often when folks get to that first race, that first big pivotal point in their life, and they accomplish it, they get the finish line, they're excited, they celebrate, but that starts to fade, that starts to wear off. That's what we do after that. It's realizing that this stuff, look at, one of my favorite quotes is, success is never owned, it is rented, and the rent is due every day. When we accomplish that victory of getting to the finish line, we have to realize, hey, we still got rent to pay. In order to live here, in order to stay as this best version of us, it requires a certain investment in our time, a certain diligence in our ability to stay on top of running that protocol we talked about. When we are in our struggles, we have to know what our best version of us does when we're running at our, and as the best version of us, right? What is that protocol when you are having your best days? How does that start and how does that end? And then when we have those difficult moments, that we rely upon that protocol. We fall back to those measures. As they say, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. So what are those habits, the protocols that we run when we are running as that best version of us? When we get to that finish line, we want to get back to the work. Celebrate, enjoy it, but don't take too long. We need to get back to cultivating and reinforcing that identity that we built, that was the person that was able to successfully cross that finish line. That's how we cultivate grit. I want to bring in one more concept from Admiral William McRaven. He's was in charge of the Navy SEALs in San Diego, where they train through BUD/S camp. So in order to become a Navy SEAL, you got to get through this basically test. Imagine that you show up to BUD/S, and what they're going to do is they're going to try to break you psychologically and physically. They're going to take you to your very end limits and see what happens when we break down all of the walls that you've built around your ego, when we've taken you to the very depths of your soul, right? So they get you out there. Not only are they putting you in a sleep-deprived state, but they're exhausting you physically every single day. You're going out on long runs. You've got weight on your back. You're carrying boats over your head up hills. You're getting into the cold ocean water in the middle of the night, pitch black, and you're swimming. You can't even see anything around you, and you're freezing. They're making you stand out there. They're just saying that everybody wants to be a SEAL on a sunny day. What about when the wind is blowing hard and the freezing rain is coming down, and that's when you have to get out there and you have to go to work, right? Think about that in our own lives. We all want to be what on a sunny day? Are you willing to be that when the weather turns, when things get hard? So this idea that you take on BUD/S camp and they figure out every single way to break you. Admiral William McRaven says, if you want to be successful, you have to be willing to sing when you're neck deep in mud. They put a bell, okay, I want you to imagine, in the middle of the compound. Right in the middle of the sandy beach, there's this stand, and it's got this bell. You just got to reach right up, it's within arm's length, and you just ring that thing. And as soon as you do, you don't have to get up early anymore. You don't have to be woken up after only an hour of sleep to get back out when you're still soaking wet to do calisthenics on the beach. We're going to get sand all over you. You're uncomfortable. You don't have to do the long enduring runs. All you have to do in order to quit is ring the bell. If you want to be successful in life, you want to be successful at your goals, you want to change your world, never ring the bell. Get the grit. Activate the best version. You realize that you are here and the best version of you is here, and what we do and how we respond to those circumstances, those challenges, are our opportunities to close that gap. Every time we run into a hardship, when we feel like This is it. I've hit another wall. Realize this is your opportunity to break through that wall and move another step closer to that best version of you. Get excited when things get hard, because those are our best opportunities to grow. Cultivating the grit, becoming anti-fragile, taking ownership, stop making excuses, and build that identity that aligns with your goals and the best version of you.